So we grew up together in the wrestling business, all wanting to be a part of it. And then later on down the line, as we got older, we kind of all started together. Robert Gibson started just a little bit before we did, because he had his brother in the business already, so he had a foot in the door. But we had to work a little bit harder. We had to kiss a little bit more butt. But we did it, and we all started together. Myself, Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, Kamala, a guy named Rip Rogers, who is one of the trainers for OVW. He's been up there for years. Probably a couple more that I can't think of right now. We all started together in the same territory. A gentleman by the name of Frankie Kane, who performed as the Great Mephisto for many, many years. He was the booker at the time, and we were just kids. We were just babies, 23, 24 years old, and he gave Michael Hayes his name. He named me Percy Pringle. Terry Gordy was a baby too. He was younger than all of us, and bless his heart, he's gone. But we all started together and learned together and grew together, and here we are. It's hard to believe that it's been 30 years. And Michael is currently Vice President of WWE Creative Department. And we've all, been very, very blessed to enjoy the passion that we've had since we was kids. And that's a blessing, to have a job that you want to do, that you want to get up in the morning and go do. And I've been really lucky, really have.
Now, how long did you become active in the business? Was it before or after your stint in the military?
I started while I was in the Air Force. I graduated high school in 1972. I enlisted in the Air Force immediately, right after graduation. Vietnam was still going on. It was on the downswing at that time, but it was still going on. So while I was in the Air Force, I started training to wrestle. And I started out as a wrestler, believe that or not. And then somebody, I forgot who it was, that told me, it said, Percy, you ever tried, no, I didn't call me Percy, call me by my real name. It's Bill, you ever thought about being a manager? And you could take that two different ways, like, oh, you're a terrible wrestler, maybe you ought to try to be a manager, I sure wasn't a John Cena by far. I mean, you didn't want to see me at all, without a doubt. But anyway, long story short, we would drive up to Memphis, from Mobile to Memphis. We'd drive 7-8 hours and do Memphis TV. And I always loved the Memphis TV territory. And we'd wear masks and get beat up. I wrestled Paul Orndorff when he first started on Memphis TV, WMC TV in Channel 5 in Memphis.
Gentleman that's been in this very studio.
Really?
Twice.
So we came up the hard way, the old school way. And it's the right way in my mind, and I think that's why I've lasted so long, that I still have that deep respect in my heart and the love for this business and for the guys that I've met and know and treasure the friendships, and except for you. You got to forgive me. I got to pick on Marty every once in a while. I won't pick on Mr. Cena, but I'll pick on Marty. But our little clique there, we all made it. Well, anyway, the guy asked me, he says, you ever tried managing? And no. He said, well, give it a try. And so it was a natural. It was something I never had to really work hard at, like doing promos or the faces and stuff. Well, that's natural.
You do have an interesting face.
I came out of my mother's womb going, oh, yes, doctor, So it was like turning the light switch on and off. I never really had to work at it hard. I had my times where I was in some difficult situations where I had to work a little hard, but usually I was having so much fun, and I still do. I still have fun. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. If I still wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be here.
The World Wrestling Federation was live at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium in Lowell, Massachusetts, Saturday, June the 28th, 1980. In the opening contest, Jose Estrada beat Duke of Dorchester Pete Doherty. Frank Savage with the win over Frank Williams. WWF Tag Team Champion Afa and Tor Kamado, who replaced Sika, retained the title over Rick McGraw and Johnny Rodz. Pat Patterson defeated Tor Kamada via countout. And in the main event, the WWF Intercontinental Champion Ken Patera retained the title over Polish power Ivan Putski via countout. If you were in Lowell Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep Wrestling Legends working during the worst of times